Welcome back. Congratulations, you've made it this far. And now we're going into the last section of this long but interesting game theory course, part 4 of chapter 5. We discussed our target case study throughout chapter 5, which is the pooled property investment business model of our property investment and management automation platform. We've been focusing on using this case study to demonstrate the application of game theory to digital marketing, wherein we developed a digital marketing strategy for our case study context and derived a set of outcomes, the challenges of which have necessitated a game theory driven solution process. Unpacking our solution via a decision process driven game theory setup led us to an outcome that elevated a gamified product education campaign as the best option to obtain our desired payoff in the game. And as promised, we're going to use this last section of this last chapter of the game theory course to go through a demonstration of what a gamified product education campaign can potentially look like. Let's get going. Our gamified model is based on a brick and mortar retail business targeted campaign management platform that we will for now refer to as Pennywise Hunt. The model of this campaign management platform is to use a gamified approach to drive mall or shopping center foot traffic towards a given store in order to promote a specific product, set of products, or service, especially if that product, service, or even store doesn't necessarily fit the list of places that people would typically frequent at a mall unless they are looking for something specific. It's basically about giving visibility to stores, products, or services that would otherwise run the risk of going unnoticed if left to chance, particularly in a context such as a mall or shopping center, where shoppers and patrons are typically distracted by a great number of things. So, how does this campaign management platform work? We'll start with the basic concept of the platform, and then we'll get into the gamified model and how it can be used as a product or service education campaign, particularly as it refers to our pooled property investment case study. So essentially, you have a retail entity that requires either foot traffic to its location or visibility for a particular product or service. They load a campaign onto the platform, which is a simple, intuitive, and straightforward process. The platform then aggregates all campaigns loaded by retailers within different vicinities and schedules all these loaded campaigns. Note the word hunt is already giving you a hint about the approach the gamified campaign is likely to take. The platform then polls consumers who are potential players in the various vicinities based on the consumer's proximity to the vicinity and gives an indication to each retailer who has loaded a campaign about the likely number of potential participants should the campaign go ahead. Based on this number, the retailer could choose to either go ahead with the campaign or reschedule for another time. Should the retailer choose to go ahead with the campaign, a notification is sent to all potential participants that a game is about to start and they choose to either accept or decline to play. The platform can run multiple games in multiple locations for multiple retailers at any given time, and it proceeds to start all games scheduled and accepted for that period in the various locations for the various retailers. The games run, a winner eventually emerges for each game, and the post game process between the players, the platform, and the retailers unfolds and completes. By now, you've already gleaned that the gamified approach is a treasure hunt of sorts, where players get different clues on an app where they follow the clues with the end game of winning a prize if they are the first one to find the treasure. The treasure is a product or service located at a particular retailer that the retailer wishes to promote or educate consumers about using a given set of clues. The winner wins the actual product or service being promoted, and the losers get worthwhile vouchers and walk away having been converted from awareness to engagement, already primed for monetization via the voucher, and primed for word of mouth promotion via the excitement experienced during the game. Depending on the budget, the retailer can run multiple games within the day based on the mall or shopping center traffic patterns during different periods of the day, week, month, or year. Okay, so let's use this Pennywise Hunt gamified campaign model to dive into the gamified process that we can potentially apply to our pooled property investment case study. We'll go through the Pennywise app step by step and see how we can adapt it to implement a gamified product education campaign for our pooled property investment model. Now, for this Pennywise Hunt app, players have to pay a small subscription to be able to compete above a certain number of games, say 5 games free, then anything above that, they would have to pay a subscription. The idea is that by the time they have played 5 games, they would have at least completed one and would have received a voucher with a value far exceeding the subscription amount they would have to pay to participate in further games in order to demonstrate the customer value proposition for the game. It's a skin in the game approach to ensure players don't opt into games all willy nilly and just not play or complete the game. So, how would we approach this for our pooled property investment education campaign? Well, in this context, our campaign is for an online audience, so our hunt would have to happen online. We need to start with an enticement, perhaps social media ads that promote luxury properties at a ridiculously low price. We would have to make sure we target audiences that match our target customer attributes as close as possible. The ad could go something like, own this 50 million meow mansion for just 500,000 meows. Start now and let's make your property ownership a reality. The link then takes the user to the game, but still played within the social media app, the same way a TikTok or YouTube video would play within X or Facebook without leaving the app. We would need to incentivize them to continue to play the game. One way of doing this at the onset is to offer the user a carrot, such as a 100% meal order voucher from the most popular food delivery platform, only if they complete the game. This is a small price to pay to potentially onboard a property investor. This is why it would be extremely important to ensure we demarcate our target audience as accurately as possible to ensure we avoid a credits type leakage, expensing incentives for the wrong audiences who do not in any way match the profile of our target customer and would not remotely have the minimum financial profile to participate in any property investment scheme. Once the user arrives at the game, they first have to find the property within the platform. We give them a list of clues as to where they could start searching. These clues are playful, with the underlying intention of taking the player, read user, as in potential customer, through the product education process for the platform and hopefully get them to at least consider signing up. Depending on how engaged this player is, we might even take them through snippets of what the platform offers outside of the pooled property investment business model, but only if their engagement indicates that they absorbed the necessary information about what we've brought them to the platform for, such that we're comfortable that the decision to convert beyond engagement to monetization is at least being considered, if not made already. Speaking of bringing them to the platform, remember at this stage we've only just managed to get them to consider participating in the game with two carrots. The first one being that there's something in it for them, win or lose. That is, that wonderful meal voucher we've promised. And the second one being satisfying their curiosity around whether it's actually possible to buy that amazing property we lured them with at the ridiculously low amount we've advertised it at. We take the player through a list of questions, each question with a set of multiple answers, with an associated clue of what the answer could be. Each clue should directly support the product education, in our case, the platform education plotline that we've set up to, firstly, get over the line in terms of engaging the brand beyond social media, and secondly, get them excited about using the platform and potentially signing up. And lastly, get into the answer about how it's possible to own that luxury property at that teaser advertised price. This would deliver and land the value proposition message of our offer. Pool your funds with others who have been vetted, have similar property investment aspiration as you, and together with them, you can actually make what seems like an unreachable dream happen and be an owner of properties such as the one advertised at a financial commitment similar to that attractive and unbelievable price you saw the property being advertised for. And we've come to the end of this section of this chapter and to the end of our game theory series. Next, we tackle DIY organizational design as well as data driven supply chain management, chapters of each course dropping alternately. Be sure to sign up to KE Learning and access full course materials and be front and center as we explore new exciting topics in new exciting ways. Go on, subscribe, and be part of the switched on and future ready KE family. Thanks for watching. Cheers for now.